Nice to meet you here at the interview.
Thank you.
It's for the Deafness Radio. And how are you doing today?
Good.
Good. We've never played here before, so we're really excited.
Okay.
It's our first time in Mannheim. We've played all other places in Germany, but first time here tonight, so we're really excited.
Okay, have you seen the city around? Have you
Not
been?
really.
We haven't. We're kind of not close enough to walk anywhere. So if we're close enough to walk to things, we'll head out in the day and see some interesting things. But we're both a little under the weather too, so I think we stayed in our bunks today pretty late.
Yeah, I slept all day, unfortunately.
Okay. You started your tour last month and it's nearly ended. So how was the tour so far?
Really great. It's been so much fun. First of all, we get to tour with our friends in I Said to Kill. We've been friends with them for a really long time, since we started, I think. And then we got to meet the guys in KLOGR from Italy. They're really sweet, nice guys. And the crowds have been great. We played our very first time in Prague and it was sold out. So that was crazy cool.
Yesterday was our first night in Zurich, and same thing, hundreds of people, and we had no idea.
Yeah, so we're just very grateful. We're
Nice
having
to
a good
hear.
time.
So well, the next question. Your new album, I really like it because there are so many styles of music in this.
Thank you.
And the title name and cover, which story is there behind?
The title name?
The title name of the album?
Oh, of Lilith?
And the cover.
Oh, yes. Well, Lilith to us signifies, the character comes up in so many different mythologies, but for us, she signifies a woman's independence, but also as a woman being able to use everything in your power to gain everything you can out of life. No matter what it is, between your strength, your wisdom, your beauty, your sexuality, everything, to pull everything out of life that you can get. And I think for us, for so many years, people tried to over-sexualize us, and so we decided we were never going to write about anything sexual, and we never did until this album. And this is our third album, and it was kind of liberating, if you will. And songs like Headspin and Huntsman, and a little bit in Lilith too. You can really hear the storytelling of that sexuality, and I think that was, like I said, liberating for us.
Okay.
The cover was, we wanted to do something kind of with eels, because eels in underwater signify a cleansing and a rebirth, and that's kind of how this album was for us. We had our very first member change.
Okay.
We've been a band for 9 years, and we'd always had the same members, but 2 years ago, it came to our attention that we needed to change our drummer. And so a lot changes when you change a band member, because everyone in our band writes all together. And so it really was kind of a rebirth. And for us, even the energy in the band, it was a rebirth, having someone new in who was excited to be there and ready and willing to write and have fun. And so you see that on the cover of the album with the eels. They signify, like I said, the cleansing and the rebirth. And then the two-headed monster, which is obviously us. It's the two-headed beast that we have become. And I really think that it's a beautiful cover, something different than we've ever done before.
Okay. Very cool.
It's always nice to do something other way, not like the usual, because you want to change as well, don't you?
Yes, you always grow and evolve. And when we started this band, like I said, 9 years ago, we were little girls, and we've developed into women, and I think that you can hear that in our songwriting, between the subject matter and the maturity of our voices on it, and songwriting too, and so I'm really proud of it.
Okay. Can you describe the songwriting process? Is every band member involved?
Mm-hmm.
Ever since we started this band, every band member has been involved. We've all wanted to be involved. I think some people just don't like the writing process and don't want to be involved, but all of us, it was very important to us that we felt that invested in our project. And it's made all the difference in the world, having ambitious band members who want to create together. So, you know, in the beginning, and we still do, we sit in the room together and just kind of throw around ideas. You know, sometimes Henry will bring in a part, sometimes Jason will bring in a part. Even sometimes we'll bring in just a vocal melody and have the boys help put something underneath of it. The new drummer helped tremendously because he was very different than our old drummer. So we went into a different direction, but all of us have always participated fully in the writing process.
And so you choose your favorite songs, or how do you make a choice which song is coming on the album? Do
It's
you put
hard.
It's together, so you decide.
Yeah,
We all
Everyone's
decide together,
deciding,
and you know, sometimes we don't agree necessarily, but usually I think we pretty much all agree on, because we want, no one feels like, oh, that was my song, because we all have a hand in all
Yes,
the
of
songs.
course.
So no one gets weird about, I want my song to be on the album. It's very, very easy, and we want our baby, the album itself, to be the best product that it can be.
Yeah, this last album we had 24 songs and we narrowed it down to 12, and then only 11 ended up on the album. So it was, you know, it's a hard process to choose. I think that's the only difficult thing for us in the studio. I really do think that choosing between your babies, that's the hardest part.
Okay. Does your management books your trust alone the bands?
We have
Or
agents.
can you choose them?
We have an agent that brings ideas to management, and then management comes to us and says, what do you feel about this? Or we're, you know, on our headlining tours, we're very free to say, we'd love to tour with this band. Can you contact them and see if they're available to tour with us? You know, and also the agent will help out by saying, well, I know they're your friends, but maybe not so good to, you know, for ticket sales. So you have to make educated choices. But we really try to bring along people on tour with us that we love, that we're fans of, friends of, that will also, you know, make the show good.
Yeah, one thing that we don't get to choose is where we go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's up to management. Not management, sorry, agents, but also the promoters of the city, or the, you know, like the promoter here. Yeah. He had us on all 4 German dates, and he's been with us throughout every single one of those.
Okay.
And so he's the one who worked with our agent in getting us these. And then in different cities, there's different promoters that our agent works with, but we can't look at you know, a map and be like, we want to go here, and they just magically make a show happen. That's yeah, it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. But we always have people say, how come you're not playing this place? How come you're not playing this place? No love for us. And it's like, that's not the way it works. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, the organization of that whole thing is so enormous, so huge that
it takes months of planning.
Yeah, of course. I mean, when I see other bands, or generally how long they take, or I have with small bands contact, local bands where I live, and I live here nearby, and how to manage that, and their work, maybe some work, or they have to see which band is available and which city maybe is the style, is it fitting to the band itself, or will there be also people or not? I mean, you want to play before people because they love your music.
And even logistics, you know, like is there enough time to get from this city to this city? Does it make sense? Does this route make sense? Yeah. So many things.
And we let them take care of that.
We just sleep in the box.
Can you tell me the opinion about using smartphones at concerts?
As long as they don't have the flash on, I'm totally cool with it.
Okay.
It's fine. I wish more people would be in the moment these days, but I really think it's silly for bands to say you can't use a phone. They have this new thing in the States where they're literally locking your phone up, and I just think that that's just silly. You know, if someone wants to take a picture, we live in a social media world right now, so everybody wants to take that picture and say that they were at that show, and if that's the way it is, that's the way it is.
Oh, we're totally cool with it. As long as there's not a flash like right in our faces. Yes. Like there was a show a couple days ago where someone was filming us and they kept putting it in our face, like right with the flash on. And it's like, I can't see when you do that. Mm-hmm. So I had to like tell him to turn his flash off. But other than that, we don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice to hear. I saw the last time on your Facebook page some negative comments about your band. And what can you tell me about that, your feelings, and what can you say to the people?
I just think that everyone's going to have their opinion of everything. And you know, in the social media age that we are, so many people feel so strong. So many small-minded people feel very strong behind a keyboard. They would never say these things to your face. But every band gets it. Everyone gets it. This is not like and it's not anything I haven't heard before, you know. So for the most part, we don't read it. But if someone keeps like poking me, I'll put them on blast because fuck them. Okay. No, I'm kidding. But like I have before, but it's just, you know, if we let something like that get to us all the time, that would overcome our day. And to have as much hate in someone's heart that they have, that takes a lot of energy. I'd rather have my energy put to positive things. And so, and you know, for every negative comment, there's like 20 positive comments too. So if you look and you can see, oh shit, there's a negative comment, but if you look at all the other, you know, there's a lot of positive ones too. So, you know, I'm not gonna let that one idiot ruin mine and everyone else's day.
Okay, perfect. You both started to sing in a band a long time ago, and do you have some tips for new bands who started a new band?
I think perseverance is probably the biggest tip. You don't become an overnight success. Nobody does. It takes years and years of very hard work on your own, you know, honing your craft and then finding a band, learning how to write songs with a band. It's a very long process, and most people just throw in the towel before they get to the good stuff. I mean, it's sometimes it's a decade before the good stuff comes along, but if you believe in yourself, then, you know, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's been 9 years for us, and, you know, I feel like we're just barely getting started, you know, and I'm feeling positive about our movement, and I think that's really what it is. You just keep going and going and going. And practice and practice and practice. That's the thing too. It's like, you don't always just start off good, especially the chemistry between a band. You have to work at that. And so I think that's something I would definitely tell a new band. It's just practice, practice, practice. Write, and then rewrite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you writing the songs on tour maybe, or
right now? No. I mean, we're always writing, but we're not focusing. Well, I know the boys have been jamming out some like tunes here and there, just coming up with riffs and stuff, but we're really focused on playing these shows and, you know, doing these to their fullest. And
our days are actually very busy too.
Yeah.
You know, we have, as soon as we get here, you know, we load in, we have, you know, press, we have meet and greets. So you find some stolen moments, but you're not really in the right headspace all the time to work and create more music.
Sometimes I'll lay in my bunk and just, if I think of, you know, some lyrics that sound good together, or like in a poem form, I'll write it down on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm using that too as well, memo.
Yeah.
Thank God for this function.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay. What was the best or funniest moment on tour? Maybe on this or in other tours?
Gosh, I don't know.
One time, no.
What?
Funniest moment. I get a kick out of whatever she says after Pomona every night. we laugh a lot on stage. Like, there's a lot of like funny banter that goes on between us, and we always have a good time. I think with our band, like, everyone's so comical that even just walking around the streets, having conversations, talking about things, it's always funny. And everyone's always in like a pretty good mood for the most part. So funniest moment though.
Or maybe a clumsy moment.
Oh, clumsy moment.
Maybe that was so clumsy and that was so fun at all that you remember, like yesterday.
I can't think of anything from this tour specifically.
I actually, last night, the stage got so, I tripped over the riser.
We had
like almost flat on my face.
On our last tour, we had boats, you know, blow up boats.
Yes.
And we were racing in the boats, and we were getting, you know, you say we're gonna have this race, and so the crowd gets real excited, and you don't realize how fucking fast you start going.
So these are blow-up boats, and we're in
very
them.
flimsy. We're flying across the room, and then all of a sudden there's no more crowd. Like you get all the way to the back, there's nothing there, and you're like,
Or like to the sound booth, and they're like,
Down.
turn around. We both fell out.
we both fell out at the same
several
time.
times. Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun experiment. I want to do it again. Not here, but we'll do it at a festival maybe or something.
Okay. What are you doing on tour if you have some free time?
Looking at the city or sleeping.
Okay.
That's me, at least.
I draw a lot, so all day. Like first thing I do in the morning is I get up and I Google like nearest coffee, and so I walk to the coffee shop and I draw probably for like at least 2-3 hours, and then come back. And then or if it's we were just in Prague. If I'm in Prague for the first time, I'm gonna obviously walk around and see the city. We did that all together. That was really fun. So if there's something beautiful nearby, I'll see that. But I just spend most of my time drawing. Helps me keep sane.
Clear the head and that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do photography, so it's kind of.
Oh, cool.
Yes. You're here in Germany now, and have you seen great places here? And have you cool memories about Germany?
But Germany's awesome. We've been coming here for how many years now?
We came here together
We
in
did.
2011
That was probably the funnest time too. We came together to go
to Wacken.
to go to Wacken,
Yeah.
and so we got to experience. And we have big festivals, but not like that in the States. They're way bigger here, and it was just, for instance, like I remember Lemmy was playing, and so we always, living in Los Angeles, when Lemmy was alive, you could go to the Rainbow, a famous bar, and he'd be right there playing video games all night long. No one talking to him, just, he's just there all the time.
Very nice.
So it was we got a kick out of watching Motorhead play in front of
120,000
people. We're like, it's just Lemmy.
And we're like, we see him at the bar all the time. But it was, yeah, I think that experience was probably my favorite. But every show we play just gets bigger and bigger and bigger here.
Okay.
And the catering's always really good. So I think that's that's a good part.
Okay. At least I have the last question today. If you are on a lonely island, which 3 things would you take with you?
Comfy sheets. Obviously my phone so I can play Farm Heroes. And my dog.
Okay.
I bring my dog, a pencil that'll never run out of lead, and a sketch pad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Definitely our dogs. Yes.
Yeah. Forget boys.
Forget the boyfriends. Dogs.
I've got a cat, but I like dogs as well.
Yeah. She's allergic to cats. So.
Oh.
And my boyfriend's allergic to cats, so I have to.
Weird little animals, anyways. I don't trust them. I'm just teasing.
No, my cat is stupid. Cats are stupid.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Yeah, she is, but she's stupid. She runs 3 times against the fucking door.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. You're like, come on. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Enjoy the
Thank
show
you.
tonight.